Practice this week after last week.
Yeah, I was really focused.
Yeah,
really focused. I think the guys, as I've said many times this week, we're excited to get back out there and lock in on some of the things that we all felt like we could have done better, that were costly things during the last game. And anytime you lose a game, it's an opportunity for growth, and so we definitely took advantage of that opportunity in practice this week.
How's Brennan's bounce back been in terms of individual progress and also motivating the team?
He's working really hard. I think it's offensively, it's not just Brennan, it's just everybody coming into game 3 with a new system. Even the play caller, here's what I have, here's what guys are doing well, here's what they're not, and ways that we can serve them better with the game plan. I think that'll evolve each week. You'll see that kind of center in on what Coach and I thinks they're best at and what's best for Brennan with the pieces around him. So it's been great to see the way he's worked with these guys and how they continue to the camaraderie and just how they work at practice with each other.
Jalen Scott had some high praise for Bishop and just how he's come in, first practicing since August. Just how have you seen him develop now and become a bigger part of the depth?
Yeah, that's why we brought him here. We felt like we needed competitive depth with all the injuries we've dealt with over the years. You're only as good as the next guy in the game, and Bishop was a great player in junior college. Unfortunately, with when his timeline was to graduate, we didn't have him here in spring ball, so you got to give him credit, for picking up the defense as quickly as he can, and not just that, but being in condition. Sometimes it takes guys, especially coming out of the junior college ranks, some time to get in college football shape. And so you got to give him a lot of credit for being able to do that.
I think historically you guys have pretty much shut down tight ends. Obviously Notre Dame's guy got away a couple times.
Did.
And the quarterback and tight end for VMI seem to have very good chemistry. Are you kind of curious to see, how the secondary responds to maybe tight end passes down the seams?
Yeah, I think really it's eye discipline issues that you saw. Play actions is when tight ends usually are incorporated the most in a pass game. And with Notre Dame, that's what they did. They were smart about it. In the second half, they went to some play actions and nakeds, and unfortunately, our guys did not do what we asked them to with their eyes on those plays. So it's a great chance to learn and get better. And we know, and regardless of what play we're talking about, if someone has continued success on anything in college football, the next team, they're going to run those plays until you prove that you've got that problem fixed. We do the same thing. So, yeah, we look forward to that. That's a challenge for these guys this week is to improve their eye discipline.
You talk about growth kind of this week after last week's game. Where have you kind of seen the most growth throughout this week so far?
I would say the biggest thing for us is playing complementary football right now. And until we play a game, I'm not going to be able to tell you that's happening. We're in practice and they're on separate fields. Okay. So if you looked at the game separately, both sides of the ball did some good things. The problem was they didn't do it at the right times when they had that field position on offense, or when we got a takeaway on defense, or offense scored, got the momentum, defense let them score. We just didn't play well together in spurts, and so that's something game day is going to have to really tell. But I think that's the biggest area of growth our team needs right now.
How's Ross doing?
He's doing a lot better. Yeah, so he's real close to playing. It's day to day, because as you go through these protocols every day, they measure, where kids are at and their return to play protocol. So if he doesn't play this weekend, he'll definitely play the next week.
We talked about the players getting adjusted to Coach and I's system. What about yourself and the rest of the coaching staff now? 2 games under your belt, kind of how those post-game meetings have maybe gone?
He's a vet, so one thing you like about him and Coach Gibson is when things aren't what they want, they own them right away. Hey, I got to get the guys to do this better. I shouldn't have called that, or hey, this was a good call. The player dropped the ball. He's very direct and understands. There's certain things that, unfortunately, when you're in your first year, you're going to be trying things that you hope are going to work out because they look good in practice. But game day's different, and you got to get to the point where you know what your game looks like. And we got 3 true freshmen playing on offense at times right now. So there are some things that we're going to go through here, until we get those guys seasoned a little bit more. But it's nice to have a guy like him, very level-headed, complete ownership of anything. Success doesn't give him an ego. Failure doesn't rattle him. He's just, all right, what do we got to do different? What can we do better? And here's how we're going to do it. And so I appreciate that about him.
When you have those freshmen like that, how do you keep their confidence up? Obviously, they're just 2 games in their career. Maybe, some of the drops or whatnot. How do you keep their confidence up?
you just keep talking to them. You know, hey, look, you're a great player. Like, this is something you're going to have to battle through. You've made a lot of plays in your career, and why did that happen? You know, it took your eyes off the ball. One of the interception play, as soon as that ball got there, he turned to run. And so we call that frame in the catch. And so there's little things that you preach a lot. And like I've said many times this week, if you're a parent, you really understand this, but sometimes you'll tell your kid something 100 times, and until he actually suffers the lesson, he doesn't get what you're saying. And so that had to happen with some guys in this game, and freshmen are definitely a part of that, some of these guys, right? So they're going to be 1,000 times better for the lessons they're learning right now. And it's just about accelerating that curve with them right now. And we have a lot of trust and faith, you know, in KC and Vereen and Kendrick Raphael, or we wouldn't put them out there in a game like Notre Dame. You know, they've proven that they deserve those reps through their work and practice.
Have you seen that this week in practice? Them kind of learning from this past
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. They'll bounce back well.
Coach, this is the first time you're seeing this group of captains lead the team post a loss. Just how would you assess their job keeping everyone's heads up?
Great job. Yeah, I mean, very calm, collected, direct, and then practice their butts off, you know. So when you get up and lead, it's not just what you say, it's what you do. And so that's the thing I like about these guys. They've gone out and had a really good week of practice on top of the messaging to the team.
Awesome.
Good for everybody?
All right.